Coming right back at you on the Real Kyper and Bourne Show. It's our Leaf Hour edition of our program. Nick Kypreos, Justin Bourne, Sammy McKee, Jake the Snake Schultz, Derek Brandeo, Ethan Jaja Gabor. We are live on Sportsnet 360, 590 The Fan in Toronto, and streaming always on Sportsnet Plus. Also available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube, where we always appreciate a thumbs up. All right, boys. Toronto Maple Leafs off that incredible high in the Mile High City.
Yes.
Came back to reality a little bit last night.
Tom
facing
Petty free falling.
The Utah Mammoth. Dylan Guenther with what, 2 goals? Is it
It's just Guenther.
Guenther.
Yeah, Dylan Guenther.
All right.
Yep.
With 2 goals. And I'll say this. Okay.
All right. Let's have it.
Okay, you guys go first.
No.
No,
You gotta go. You gotta go.
Because
No.
then I'll completely, I don't know. I don't want to over dictate the start of this without getting kind of your thoughts here.
You're more pissed than everybody else about it.
I'll tell you what I'm pissed the most about.
Yeah.
All right. A scheduled loss.
I knew it.
Take the scheduled loss comment and stick it where the sun doesn't shine, my friend.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear it. Don't want to hear it. Want no part of it.
Yeah.
And it's like built-in excuse against, first of all, you didn't jump on a plane 24 hours and go to Dallas or Minnesota. You went to Utah, where about a week and a half ago, they were losing to teams like Nashville, New Jersey, Columbus. Where does anybody get off that you schedule a loss against Utah?
Yeah, they were 22, 20, and 4. So to be clear on that, in 46 games, they had 22 wins. So not a dominant, squad this year. And you're right. I totally get what you're saying, that this was a full permission. You don't have to win after how great you done in Colorado. Take your 2 points out of 4 and call it a success.
Thank you. Did we change your mind? Because
It's a scheduled loss.
You're
Yeah. It is 100% a scheduled loss.
2 things can be true. It was a challenging night.
They've played 1,000,000 hockey games. They've been on the best stretch of the season.
bull crap.
Okay.
Bull
listen.
crap. They had the easiest schedule out of any team to start. They're at home.
Yeah.
They've been resting this whole
Yeah.
time. So you pissed away a few points to start the season.
Oh, so many.
And now you get a scheduled start, Sammy. All right.
It's funny
You killed me, man.
because, a legitimate challenge, obviously, going into that game, particularly Matthews plays 25 and a half or whatever. Tough back-to-back. Utah's a fast team. They were probably going to lose that game. I said that yesterday on the show. But I don't think you feel very good by the team's performance being them going, no one cares if we win this one. We got Vegas. We got Mitch Marner coming up. We got the big backpats from Colorado. Tonight is a freebie.
Ugh.
Just a full night off.
Do you believe, okay, I'm just trying to get a feel here. Do you believe in trap games? I know you don't believe
that's
in
not last night.
But I know last night is the biggest trap game of all time.
What are you talking
Well,
about? It's a trap game about it.
Why are you? Is the team
Trap game
being
you're supposed
trapped
to win.
into a loss? Is that what you're saying?
A trap game is where a game in between 2 really meaningful ones.
And a trap game is a game where it's so easy looking on the schedule, you take it for granted. And you roll, you go,
Maybe
we're
we have
supposed
different
to.
definitions of trap game.
You're fighting for your life for points here. You're game to game now on either you feel good or you feel crappy. And I got to think they're going into Vegas. They should feel crappy. A ton of momentum out of Colorado, I thought was lost a little bit last night.
Mm-hmm.
See,
I get your point that it's easy to overlook last night.
I think
Why would you overlook last night?
because they just beat the best team in the league on home ice,
So
and they're going to
what?
Vegas to play their longtime teammate in what most fans are saying is the most anticipated game of the season, and they're wedged in between there, getting in at 3 a.m., playing at altitude against a faster team than Colorado somehow, and they got beat. I don't know, like
They got starched.
they got starched. You didn't have a chance.
You absolutely dug yourselves in a huge hole. You don't get to look ahead. You have to just stay 100% in the moment.
Here's the thing. I know you're right. I know that's correct. And I think it's Craig Berube's job to sell that message.
That didn't.
No. We're trying to get as many points as we can. If you guys think this is the easiest game of this week or whatever, of these three, then we better get some points here tonight. And they didn't even come close.
All right, let's get Craig Berube's thoughts last night. Clip 3.
I'd really like us to tell us how you really feel about it there, Kyper. Could you really tell us how you feel about that game last night?
Craig Berube on the flush game. I have a feeling I want to flush this comment down the toilet. Let's have a listen.
No, this is a flush game for me. You know, we just didn't execute well enough, and it's kind of like we almost got a goal. We almost got the playoff, but we just didn't execute well enough. And I'll give them credit. They had a great game plan. They were honest. We didn't have much room out there. Any opportunity we got, we really had to work for it. And they were tight defensively, and they were quick offensively. They made us chase it around.
Yeah, that they did.
The one thing I will say about Utah, that team is way better than their record. Like you look at who they're in the pack of all these teams, minus 19, minus 22. They're plus 14.
Mm-hmm.
Some of that last night. But they've got more skill there. Really like that Jack McBain. Dylan Gunther can rip it. I mean, going to want to save from Hildeby on some of those, and I know we're going to get to that eventually, but they have some players.
I'm watching, there's always a few kids.
Veggie look good.
You look around.
I like him.
Toronto guys. That McBain should be a Leaf. I don't
Doesn't he remind you of Brian Boyle?
Should be. No,
he
he's
looks like Brian Boyle.
Maybe.
It's a physical appearance thing more than a game thing.
Little kind of
thicker.
Yeah, a little tougher too. I think maybe
he's just
Boyle's a monster.
Yeah.
Anyway.
No, Boyle played the game hard for sure.
Yeah.
I just find him a little quicker, maybe McBain.
Yeah, he's a talented kid, man.
Yeah, and they interviewed him in the intermission. Masters talked to him, and he just looks like the quintessential big hockey guy.
Yeah,
from Toronto.
why? I get the impression from talking to you over the years. Why do you think he should be a Leaf? You like him a lot.
I just know him from.
Was there a chance in the draft
first of all,
or something?
his dad is an ex-pro,
right?
So I knew Andrew McBain. He was a North Bay Centennial one time.
Okay.
We didn't cross paths because he had made the Winnipeg Jets by the time I got to North Bay.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, we hear of NHL's children that have a chance to strive in the area.
Yeah, not always though.
No, not always. Correct, right? Some go with different paths.
Yeah.
Some are smarter.
Like media.
Smarter, right?
I'm so tired. I was like, what is he talking
about? He's a kid that I think got drafted, if I'm not mistaken, around the third round.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them, they don't get looked at because they're playing tier 2 hockey, which I think kind of be a mistake sometimes. Mm-hmm. Like Chris Tanev didn't get looked at when he was playing Ontario junior hockey. Mm-hmm. Zach Hyman didn't get looked at. Yeah. They all kind of get shrugged off in this area, and others take a chance on them.
This is it's unlikely. Did you happen to see Tom Brady's quotes on Spit and Chicklets the other day? He was on Chicklets. I don't know if you saw that.
No.
He had some quotes just about
brutal sunglasses.
Brady.
Yeah, it's tough work. Anyways,
he had a whole thing about how you evaluate young talent, and you want to know so much more than can they run a 4.2 40 or whatever. And a lot of those guys you just mentioned are guys that have passion and drive, and they faced adversity, and like those type of players, Hyman, McBain, Tanev, like those are hard guys, and those are the guys that get missed because they're not the toolsiest guys skill wise.
You don't necessarily have to take a chance on them on a first pick or a second pick, but once you're in that wheelhouse from 3 to 6 or 3 to 7,
go to the net back post.
Certainly know what's underneath the surface, right? That's all. And I don't know. I think he's just one of those guys. I personally think that McBain would have thrived here.
Yeah. Well, that's a shame.
Yep.
He's doing
All
pretty
right.
well in Utah.
I love that player. I love the guy.
It is a good drop. Why don't we get his overview?
All right, let's get Craig Brewy's overview of the game last night.
Yeah, they pounced early. I thought we got out of the first. We're down 1-0. We're in good shape. I thought we came out in the second, and actually, JT had a breakaway right away. Didn't put it in. We had some opportunities there early on. I thought we got our legs under us, and the second goal goes in, and the third one kind of really dug us in a hole.
I think the second, like he said there, the second half of the first period, they kind of found their legs. And I thought, like he said again, first 5 minutes, if JT buries on that breakaway, which, I mean, one of the all-time hands team guys in this generation of players, you just mix in a head fake or...
Is he lacking confidence?
He scored on that same shot just to the other side a day ago.
But I think he got tricked because he looked up and he's like, he catches with the wrong hand.
Yeah.
And he shot it right into his glove.
Not a chance. The guy's been in the league 18 years, and he lifts his head for the first time and realizes someone else is catching on the wrong hand.
Does it not catch you off guard?
That's not in a million years.
But you're
JT, who is a student, is accused of being a student of the game as much as anybody else out there, and goes to his last detail on how to get better, is surprised when he puts his head up to see a guy catch with the other hand.
But this happened this year. Same guy, JT shot, same shot, Logan Thompson. Aaron from Yahoo that had it. Someone had, I forget where I saw it. But yeah, so I don't know if the handedness, JT struggles with goofy handed tenders or something. Look at the breakaway room.
Yeah. I don't think, obviously he knows that this guy catches with the wrong hand, but he probably was thinking, I'm going to go high blocker, and then, oh, crap, he's got a glove on that hand. It's just weird. It's just weird. It's different.
Nothing doing there. Stop cold.
He got off to an amazing start. I don't think anybody expected him to be on that 107-point pace, but it's really slowed down for this guy.
Yeah. Yeah, it has. I mean, I think when he signed this deal, for $4 and change mil, our expectations were that I don't think any of us thought he was going to be an 80-point guy this year. If he's going to be a 65-point guy and play 17 minutes a night, you go, it's awesome. It's awesome for what you're getting for that. So,
but that's what he's doing now, isn't he? Still
right.
17 and a half, but the offense is dried up.
But I think perhaps to your point that maybe we need to recalibrate what he is and his value a little bit.
I mean, I think they've gotten pretty excellent value to this point in the season in his contracts. I mean, we have 40 points.
But outside of the contract and where the salary cap is now, you still got, when we look at the center of the ice, and thank goodness Austin's looking more like what he's supposed to look like. Now you've got JT still holding that second center ice spot, which right now he's not carrying the weight of it. And then you've got Nick Waugh at 3, and you got Lawton, who's really not happy at 4. So it's not ideal right now.
What's not ideal?
The center ice position.
That they have fantastic depth at the center ice position.
Preseason.
Where's the depth?
All 4 of those guys win every single draw and are good defensively, other than Tavares.
But
offense, Sammy, driving offense right now.
But when Tree Living talked about this group,
Nick Waugh has been unbelievable. Like that line we've talked come in
is
here
Nick
every
Waugh
day.
A second line centerman?
Maybe they could try it.
No.
One thing I will say is Tree Living coming into this year talked about that depth and how it's almost not so much who's a 2, who's a 3, but it's situational. And Nick Waugh can be the D-zone start guy. Tavares can be the O-zone start guy. They can both get 17. They're both 2.5, so now you've got a 2 and a 3. I don't know if that's. I don't think they're built like a cup team.
I don't know. I don't know if you could beat a Tampa or a Florida in the first round, or even Detroit playing a hybrid center ice.
I mean, they haven't
trio.
beat them with when Tavares was an 80-point guy.
Yeah, I know. You're right.
So,
and they haven't
had a good 3C either behind Tavares in the past. I don't think Kadri, but they traded
and that's
him.
Nick Waugh, right?
Supposed to be.
And they brought in Ryan O'Reilly, but then they put Tavares on the wing when they brought in Ryan O'Reilly.
That's right.
So he wasn't necessarily a 3C. He moved up into the lineup.
Yeah.
Which immediately, that was strange.
I mean, of all the things that I'm concerned about on this team. The centers, I don't think really are.
Yeah, like if we had
close to
just
the
done the
top of the
left
list.
wings and you were like, here's your 4 left wingers, McMahon, Michelli, Nyes, Lorentz.
Yeah, but
I'm
it's,
more
it's
concerned there.
starting to show a little bit, though, Sammy.
What is?
JT, first of all.
Well, yeah, sure. Like, I mean,
Right?
but they should give him less ice time and give the other guys who look good more ice time. I don't think it's necessarily a problem.
Lawton is particularly still frustrating for me
For sure. And,
because he's good.
like, would you move Scotty Lawton in there for half a game or...
But yeah, so this is the
Right?
thing that kills me with this is like Mitch Marner was here for 9 years or was it 10? Whatever it was. And he went to Vegas so far for 3-4 months.
became a centerman.
And they've played him at center for like a month and a half.
Yeah.
We can't see it for a week. And we do this so much with the Leafs where it's like, hey, Willie could play center. Could we just see it? If everyone thinks it's not going to work, could we see it? Let's try it and find out. And so we're asking this question with Scott Lawton. Can he play higher up in the lineup? I don't know. We're 44, 45, 46 games in. Could we see?
No,
we
I
find
don't
out?
know. And we've had these Tavares conversations with the salary going from 11 to 4. Would there be more flexibility to back off of him a little bit,
Right.
put him on the left wing, maybe drop him to the third line? Is there any signs that they want to do that?
There's no signs. The wing thing is definitely interesting. You
Habits
like
take
if you
time to
had
break.
Another centerman. You know,
Yeah.
can Lawton play the wing with Tavares and Nylander? God, would that be fun? By the way, he has played there and he's played very well there for like few shifts.
I just think that over these 5 years that we've done the show together, boys, we've screamed for them to look more balanced. And now they finally have 4 good centers and they're actually rolling 4 lines that have looked good. And we're like, we need it to be more top heavy all of a sudden. I think the centers.
We're looking at big picture, Sammy. When it's all said and done, is Tavares going to be legitimately your second line centerman playing 20 minutes a night, matching up against Sam Bennett?
The only
or
guy that's going to play.
Lindell?
I think the only guy that's going to play 20 minutes a night is Matthews, and they're going to kind of figure out the rest as they go. I mean, Waz played a ton of huge playoff games for the Knights. He's shown to be really responsible defensively. He's big. He's a playoff type player. Lawton, Tavares,
Third line.
Sure.
Third line all day long.
You know who's playing center for Tampa Bay now that points out? Top line right now is Nick Paul, Gensel, and Kucherov. You can try guys out of their element a little bit here is all I think we're looking for.
But
Okay. All right. It's just stemmed off of a breakaway where I think Tavares looks like maybe he's doubting himself a little bit or going through maybe the longest stretch as a Leaf where the production hasn't been there. That's all.
Yeah. I don't know.
And maybe you do slide in guys in and out more and go to a hybrid scenario. We just haven't seen it yet.
Yeah. He had a 3-game point streak, last 2 games. No luck.
what are the ice you were mentioning, I don't know how many shows ago that was, that the ice time's kind of going down for Tavares and other guys are starting to come up. But
Tavares played 14:30 last night.
Yeah, everybody was playing in the third period. They were just kind of rolling it.
The Hill to Beast.
Yeah, not a good night. Not a good night. Listen, great goalies have bad nights. You know, you play enough good games and you earn the leeway to go, wasn't his night. The drops his stick on the one. You don't love how it looks from there. But the Genther one from distance, to win that road game on a back-to-back against a fast team, you need the outcome to be our goalie was incredible and we got a couple bounces. The goalie was not incredible in that.
How come
Took their legs off
during
the
my
bottom.
whole career, when I'm at that particular angle Genther's at,
Yeah.
and I'm up against a big goalie, I see no light short side.
Well,
No light. And I know it was a perfect spot, and I know he put it perfectly, but
if
all of that
If
should
he
be
stood
covered
like,
short side,
if he
though,
stood
no, right?
like Ken Dryden, let's say he put his pads together and stood with his shoulder against the side of the net. I don't think from that angle there's any net.
Yeah,
I think he can.
it's remarkable that there was any net at all.
I think he could block the whole thing from that angle just by standing.
Yeah.
But then these guys who are unbelievably good shooters would just fire it on the other when the goalie stands up straight. They're just going to fire
I'm
it on
not
the other
saying he
side.
should play like that. I'm saying that's an angle where he's big enough to just go dunk and catch it.
to shrug it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're supposed to cover that first, the short side first.
It is.
But anyways,
it
he
is
has been
brilliantly placed shot.
It's a tough environment for him, going through a learning curve as a real NHL pro right now. So it's a one-off, but it does lend to the reality that Stolarz is now with the team, and they're going to push Stolarz, I'm sure, quietly behind the scenes as fast as they can to get him back in.
By the way, last night was the most lopsided even strength expected goals between the teams. Utah 5.14, the Leafs 1.7. That was a massive swing. But anyway, sorry. Stolarz coming back. That's interesting to hear. I am not sold that Hildeby is he's definitely not an NHL starter for me, and I'm not basing this on last night. I've said this all year long. But I've come around to the fact that he can play in the NHL.
Yes.
And
he's a very good prospect.
Yeah. So, I don't blame them for wanting Stolarz back, who's basically a 920 every time he plays every season.
Yeah, I think this is just a potential warning shot across the bow if you're like, hey, let's trade Stolarz and have him be the second guy you lean on. It's just, he's been really good here, okay? Yep. And there's been an excellent stretch. But I know you put out your sexy trade board today.
I did.
Did you?
I did have Stolarz
I saw that.
as a potential trade chip for the Toronto Maple Leafs. I did.
And last night is just a little reminder that this guy's still pretty raw and he's had some good games for the team. But
Sam, this whole thing is like you don't have things to trade. You need to pretend he's something that's important so you can trade. I think you trade him.
Who's that?
Hildeby.
You got to think about it for sure, and you may be right. If the hard decision is that we can give up, we just signed Stolarz to 4 years. We still have Wall at 3 years. Yep. There might not be any room for Hildeby. Maybe we sell him as one of the best goalie prospects out there.
Yeah, I mean,
and then
nervous, but.
And then you trade Hildeby. And the next game, Wall disappears for
you're right.
2 months.
You're right.
And you're stuck with
those are the
Akimov
risks.
and Stolarz.
Yeah.
But as I wrote in my article, beggars can't be choosers.
Yeah, you are.
And they are beggars to try to win right now.
But the argument that all Leaf Nation would say, stop being beggars. Just run it out there. Like, just play the games.
On the next rebuild, we'll remember that.
Yeah. To me, it's like they're trying to drive a car across the desert. Okay. And you have to choose which parts you're going to try to do it without. This lug nut over here, this random rod that I don't know things about cars. Like, you're not going to get this car.
Real mechanical.
They don't have all the parts. They cannot operate a full machine. How far can you go without which parts? And you have to make a decision at some point. Otherwise, you're saying, sell this jalopy. Let's start over and build a new car. We're still trying to drive this one.
Did last night, albeit on a scheduled loss, remind you that the blue line still isn't good enough?
No. I good enough to what? Win the cup?
Dougie Hamilton.
Of course they're not good enough to win the cup.
Win a round?
They're barely in
win a round.
They could 100% win a round with their playoff, with their defense that they have right now.
I'm with them.
100%.
Okay. All right.
But
hey,
2 rounds?
I'm in on Hamilton.
Oh.
I've thought about it. I'm in on Dougie Hamilton.
Oh.
Who wants to hear about it?
I do. Me, please. Tell me.
This is a team with no assets to trade. We just talked about trying to get rid of, whatever you can here to get someone. Mm-hmm. Hamilton is the biggest ratio of low acquisition cost to immediate talent upgrade that you can find out there. And yes, it's because it comes with warts and things you don't like, namely the contract. Mm-hmm. However,
and the play,
they haven't had an offensive defenseman since I've been covering this team. I don't know, decade, whatever. Call it Jake Gardner, sure. You know, Tyson Barrie's name in there.
Morgan Riley scored 20 goals once.
Morgan Riley, I'm aware, but he's not a power play guy.
He also was -4 last night.
Yeah,
I know. He was making progress, and
he is at this point not. You say Morgan Riley, yes, he's been a good offensive defenseman. This is different. Well, his ceiling versus when Hamilton's very good. So I just think your power play immediately gets better. I'm watching that power play last night and previous nights. It's not fixed. It's improved, but you are not going to have a top 10 power play in the NHL with Matthias Michelli being the number one puck toucher, ragging the puck up the ice, and Morgan Riley is your quarterback. Michelli and Riley cannot be the guys who touch the puck the most on your power play. Dougie Hamilton can. He can hit a puck. He can be a threat. He can make space for Matthews. He can make a pass. He's certain. And if you get him at 7.25, and you LTIR Tanev or LTIR Dakota Joshua, you have room. It's no act. What would it cost? Yarncroc? They just want this guy off the books. I'm not even joking. What would it cost? They just want him gone?
Yeah.
They're going to give him away?
Yes.
Are they going to give him away, Kyper? Because if we're giving him away here.
Okay, if you had your choice right now, would you, and you could convince Morgan Riley to go there and you could do the money even up if they ate some, would you be fine with that?
Well, I mean, how could the defensive downside be much worse? No offense to a guy who's been a great Maple Leaf, but this year, I don't know what you said he's -4 last night, so I don't know, he's got to be -20 some on the year. He's
15.
He's been on for the most goals against at 5-on-5 in the NHL for the defenseman. That's a week or two ago when I looked at it. So I don't think the defensive is going to be much. I think there's more offensive upside there.
Yeah. They can't
probably would
add that salary, even if they ate $2 million.
Yeah, I mean, you might have to throw Domi or Michelli or someone the other way, but
You mean their first and second line wingers?
He can get up and down the ice. He can skate. He can shoot the puck. He's a right-handed D. He's going to log 18 to 20 minutes a night.
If he's happy, he can be very good. I understand it's not going great. I get it.
He's not quite Seth Jones.
No. But he is a career that you could get more out of. Is he 32?
I don't think he's much older than that.
Dougie Hamilton.
Yeah, we're going
Yeah.
to do this.
32,
answer.
I think.
He's 32.
32.
June 17th.
There's only 2 more years of the deal
1993.
after this. It's not crippling. It's a risk. You have to take some risks with this group. So to me, I'm sold.
Your perspective that I like the most is bringing in a quote-unquote talented hockey player that really could be a needle mover if it hits.
Could.
There's a big could there.
Might not.
But the acquisition cost for a team that's lacking assets is one that would probably be more palatable than a lot of the other difference makers in the market.
We'll get into this, I guess, in our national hour, but Tom Fitzgerald, of course, who controls Dougie Hamilton's future as of now as the general manager, had a press conference.
Everything's great.
And you just wonder where he is on the value he sees in a Dougie Hamilton and a potential trade and what the price would be. I can't get a feel of it right now, whether between grabbing something back or just getting him off the books.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, cap issue, they have cap issues.
Yeah.
That's a big deal. I would believe he is trying to get rid of the whole thing. The next
Well, then it's got to
20
come with
plus
an asset.
$1 million, including a $6 or $7 million signing bonus that's coming up.
That's an advantage for the Leafs, though. The Leafs don't.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they don't care, but they can do that where other teams can't. And so you got to pay a little something more for that, or take less back if we're doing that. That's a little bit of leverage for the Leafs.
Yeah, that'll be interesting watch from here on in.
Just wanted to point out that another really awesome night for Matthews last night, where he was threatening the whole game and like every shift.
That one off the post.
Even in the third period when
Yeah.
they're down and he could have quit, I thought he actually was competing the whole game.
You know what? Even under that loss, he's got the puck a lot more.
And he's
Like-
stripping the puck a ton.
It's just a
We
theory
noticed.
that I think maybe if it was in Austin, somebody got to somebody and said, enough with the dump and chase.
Interesting. Yeah.
Enough.
Yeah.
After Christmas, we're making plays over the blue line. We're not dumping and chasing.
Let the boys handle the
'Cause
puck
that-
a little here.
That even under a tough loss last night, they had the puck way more. Austin had the puck way more.
I think you might just look at your lineup and go, we're pretty small. And so, on every line we got a guy who's, 160
But
pounds. We
I'm-
don't forecheck.
I'm
like
not seeing
we
that
need to.
automatic straight lines. I think a big part of his poor start to the season was too much of something he didn't like out of the team
That's funny.
and the system.
Which you don't love either, but I get it.
So, I mean, that's fascinating. But like, would a conversation between a manager and the coach be like, "Hey, if you guys keep dumping it in, you're going to be, I'm going to dump
find
it.
a guy who won't
I'm
make them
going to
dump it."
dump you out of here."
Yeah.
Like, would that kind
I've
of
played with
conversation
enough
happen?
guys where if they don't buy into what the coach, they'll just, I'm not saying they'll quit. I'm not saying they'll mail it in, but it's like, this is not my game.
But
And
you
it's
know,
going to look like it.
yeah. But the overall responsibility for coach and team, the coach is to adjust to the roster to the team. The coach is allowed to go,
Yeah.
okay, it's not built to play my way.
Yeah.
You know,
But they've changed.
That's fascinating.
No question.
Like, does that
Before Christmas and after Christmas, they look like a different team handling the puck and finding middle of the ice when they cross the blue line, not dumping and chasing.
this feels like, even for you, Bourne, who's very good at looking up these scary stats, I don't understand any of the websites, but even for you, their dump-in percentage since Christmas, I don't know if that's something you can look up.
yes, that is attainable.
It just feels like
all
I
the
don't-
analytics, especially the individual ones for Austin, have been like night and day.
It really has. It really, really has. Like Mike Kelly sent out a tweet yesterday with like the stats and the possession numbers and the shots and the shot attempts. Just has the puck way more, I guess.
It's a good
And
thing.
that's happened a lot over my career where I just see those star players keep coming out of the coach's office. And it's like,
What's going on there?
I'm going in there and I'm going to tell them.
You got to have some real cachet to go into the coach's office and tell him anything.
There's always 4 or 5 guys that have that.
So that's the
on the
question.
team.
That's the question I would ask is if, for example, Austin Matthews went to Craig Berube and was like, "Hey, can we stop giving up the puck because we can never get it back?" Would it be like your line can do that, but Scotty Lawton, you're not carrying it in there?
question.
Like, is it a different?
I've asked that a lot
Yes.
myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, that's totally
Some coaches,
common.
Some coaches don't like that it's inconsistent between lines, like if guys move lines or shuffle in game. But there's definitely guys who operate by different rules, and
But-
I think it should
But
be.
Nick
that way.
Waugh is a third line guy. McMahon, they've got the skill to not necessarily have the ability to gain a line and cut across at 90-degree angle and do a 360 and make plays, but they can not give up the puck on such a long dump in. You know, they can work it in 6 feet, 8 feet along the walls and maintain control. They're skilled enough to do that, and I think we've seen that. They've won some good battles along the wall with puck possession that we again didn't see much in the first 30 games.
Totally. Last thing quickly before we go. Matthews just talking about it. Big game tomorrow night. We're going to break it down a ton tomorrow, obviously. Going to Vegas, take on Mitch, but I want him to take it personal in that game. Like, I really do want him to look like he's got a burr under his saddle.
Yeah, we got 2 days. 2 days to prep that one.
Well,
Wednesday
not-
and Thursday.
Well, no, today's Wednesday,
Oh, yeah.
and tomorrow is Thursday.
Thursday. Okay.
So
Yeah,
I'm just
tomorrow.
mentioning it at the end of our first segment, but any thoughts from either of you guys on that one? Or
Is it time?
About,
Doesn't feel like it's
you
time.
can talk about it tomorrow.
About
too, but-
a personal,
yeah, like Mitch left. You know, he was offered a contract. There's lots of stuff that went
I
around
don't
it.
know. I'm of the belief that this is going to kind of look and feel like any other game.
That would not make people happy.
Well, it's like, what's Mitch going to fight someone?
No,
Like,
it's not.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So it's going to.
The buildup will be much more outside the rink with the media and the fan base, I'm sure. But I don't know. I think these guys are just built differently today.
This is something that we can go here, but Gunner, who is always got his tinfoil hat on, was yelling at me about in the summer when the Leafs schedule was released. But like, does the NHL not like drama? Like, how is your first Mitch Marner game a Thursday night in the middle of the week on the second half of a back-to-back? Like, how is the first Mitch Marner game not hockey night in Canada on a Saturday night in Toronto?
But
Like, how do they?
It's
like,
a dumb league.
It is a dumb league.
Those days where they cared about that are long gone.
But they like rivalries, and they like guys getting hammered from behind and not suspending them. They like that, but they don't like the rivalry of a fan base and a player. Like, it's just stupid. He can't even talk to the media. He's playing tonight.
I don't know.
They play tomorrow.
I think it's a stretch to assume that this is a marquee game for the NHL to do anything with.
Are you nuts?
It's huge in this market. Absolutely, it's huge.
Yeah, you can't play that game if you're the league. You look after your winter classics and, of course, some signature games for.
And I think the teams
ESPN
to put in some
TNT.
requests of important nights for them.
We're looked after with Hockey Night in Canada on Saturday nights. They go through it pretty well with marquee Saturday nights
and
when they
is
can.
Vegas here for a Saturday night?
Friday night. Second half of back-to-back. No media.
That one's weird. Friday.
It's absurd. It's just, Mitch Marner, one of the most high-profile players on the highest-profile team with a bit of a messy exit. How do you not put that first game back on Hockey Night in Canada Saturday night, 7 p.m., Toronto, Ontario? It's absurd.
Absurd.
It's absurd.
Do we get it for
That
regional?
don't make no sense.
Do you and I get to do a Vegas game or no?
Friday night?
No,
No.
I don't think so.
Anyways. All right,
No?
we can go.
I don't know.
All right.
I don't know what I'm doing tonight. Don't ask me these
No
questions.
hockey. No hockey.
on live
No. Bourne's
television.
on.
What do we got, Sammy, after the break?
Got a little mailbag action.
Oh,
Yeah.
the mailbag.
Yes.
Sammy's mailbag. You're not going to want to miss that when we return to Real Kyper and Bourne.
Got mail.
Welcome back to the program. The Kypreos, Justin Bourne, Sammy McKee. It's the Leaf Hour edition. Real Kyper and Bourne show. 4 games on tap tonight, including our Scotiabank Wednesday night hockey, where our very own Justin Bourne will be on the panel tonight. It's the battle of the Eastern bottom feeders tonight. Rangers and Ottawa.
Yep. I'm going to show you a little bit about Ottawa second league and face-off percentage. Got some tricks to show you.
So during the pregame, you're mandated to drop in Real Kyper and Bourne. I don't know how you're going to do it, where you're going to do it, but you got to mention the show.
I accept this assignment. I think that's fair. Free commercial. Get it in there. I'll make
And
it
a
happen.
Sammy.
And a Sammy
Right?
mention.
And a Sammy mention.
I'm good. I think people are probably sick of hearing about and from me. Ethan, if you're the Marner camp, how pissed would you be on a scale of 1 to 10 about the Athletic saying he does not feel at home yet? It's from Ethan on Twitter.
I thought Marner said that he didn't.
That's
feel
what I
at
meant.
home.
Like,
Yeah.
would they be upset by that? The way that
Vegas.
Marner. He said the Marner camp. So I guess his agent or people.
I thought that article. So that article in the Athletic, Jonas Siegel wrote
Yes.
on Mitch Marner's time so far in Vegas. I thought was really fair, but also gave a good sense for the challenges and somewhere you're new after you've been somewhere else for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And Mitch himself, I think, summarized some of the it's not as usual not being around friends and family, and that's. I don't think they said it. The player said it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
With the article.
With
Or the sentiment.
with
the sentiment?
Mitch saying that I don't feel quite at home yet.
Mm-hmm.
Just from the physical thing, there's also the mental thing too of coming from a team where often you were, let's face it, the most important player. Penalty kill, first and last shift of every period, top scorer, quarterback the power play probably, and you look around and there's Stone, there's Eichel, there's Hurdle, there's like
Barbashev, Dorfe.
there's a ton here.
Hanifin.
I don't even think he kills penalties anymore.
He doesn't.
How does he go from
What?
Yeah, doesn't kill penalties. How do
That's
you
a
go from one of the
mistake.
best penalty killers in the league to not doing it at all?
Ooh,
The shifts are down per game. His shifts are down per game, and his overall minutes are down. So this is a new adjustment to him, and I don't even think he's picked up any rhythm.
I go back to there were times here where they were so careful about guys' emotional whatever that had he just been treated like a normal player here, he would be more accustomed to that where you play bad, you don't play. You know what I mean? Like end of the game, sorry, tonight wasn't your night. We're going to go with the third liner who was red hot. It never happened here.
Never.
Emotional no accountability.
damage.
No accountability. So I'm sure it is different there where they're moving him around a little bit and trying to find his spots. And I read that article. Bruce Cassidy had a lot of comments about they're trying to figure out where he likes the puck and how to get him the touches he needs. And
So all of this is still trying to get figured out, and he's still on pace for 90-plus points. Think about that for a second.
Yeah. I mean,
If he ever found a comfort zone or found that rhythm that we're talking about, like, what's the upside moving forward?
I think he's a point per game. And
No, he's a
got
100-point
10
guy.
goals.
He's a 90 to a he is a 100-point guy, and he averaged per game over 100 points every year for the Leafs, except for the years he probably got hurt.
I know what he is. I'm saying
Yeah.
this year he's not.
No, this year he's at he'll end up with 80 or 90 on the pace that he's on
It's
now,
a great year.
and
You know,
that's with all these
Yeah.
lower minutes.
But this is part of the thing here that just there's other good players and other people get opportunities, and that's what it's like being on a team. And sometimes here it was just like, regardless of what happens, here you go, and that's
But that's Vegas has way more depth
That's
than
what I was gonna say.
Toronto.
I mean,
like you needed him every game.
exactly. It wasn't like you were going to be like, hey, let's throw out Andre Kasha to close this game out.
No, I disagree. There was lots of times where Andre Kasha should have gone, where these guys were like, and then I'm not saying that about Mitch. I'm saying that about Mitch.
You lose
and
with Kasha,
Willie.
my friend. You
Hey,
just
that's
you
lose.
Czech
would.
Olympian to you guys.
You would, but the whole problem was that these guys just knew no matter what they did that they would get the tap. And you never set the message that, like, you have to play well to earn the minutes in those spots. So I mean, they lost anyway, so I don't think we can sit here and say they did a great job of it.
He's got what? The article really stipulated like he's got 1-2 people asking him questions. It's like that in itself
Fox News 5.
Fox News 5.
Yeah. Tonight at 5, Marner.
And the guy's got to look at his nameplate before he starts asking the question.
That's a choice he made, right? He wanted that.
Yep.
Oh, no, I think he's loving that part.
Yeah.
Right? And
I don't.
So Ryan Getzlaf was on the other day on
he was with Reach, with boy Reach.
Yeah. And he said, and he made a comment about how hard it is to play in Toronto.
Oh, yeah. I mean, what an original thing that is. I haven't heard that from anybody.
I do think that it is every market has pros and cons.
Yeah.
It's a legitimate con.
Yeah.
It's a tough market to play in. And people be like, the media's not that hard on them. It's not that they're hard on them. There's just the volume is volume-y.
It's all on how you take it.
This one comes in from our YouTube chat. Johnny Harris says, when the playoffs hit and the Leafs have to be cap compliant, could they have Hildeby as a backup and put Stolarz as a non-roster and allocate the cap differently to skaters?
It's a really good question. The way the playoff salary cap works, you can be, you have to be cap compliant.
And this
each
is
night.
assuming they make the playoffs,
right?
Which I'm not convinced of.
You have to be cap compliant each night. So let's say you think Woll and Stolarz are your two best goalies, and you want them to start. You could have Hildeby as your backup every night on the bench and spend more money at other spots. Mm-hmm. Which is interesting. Then all right, Woll is a bad night. Stolarz and Hildeby.
But the next night, if you want to go back to Stolarz, then you got to take out $3 million from your salary up top.
Well, you just take the other goalie out. Like you take Woll out, and Hildeby's always the backup. Because Stolarz and Woll make fairly similar amounts. You could toggle the two of them so neither ever backs up.
Or you could trade one of them.
You could. I'm just saying that this question is a pretty insightful way to spend some extra money, get around the cap a little bit.
Yep.
A little bit. Very little bit.
A touch. This is from Paul Zhang. Is Thursday's game the tipping point for if we're back or not?
I don't look at it.
No, they're back.
I don't look at it as a one Vegas game thing. I want to go past Vegas. I want to go to Winnipeg. I want to go to early next week. And
Minnesota next Monday night.
Minnesota. And then who's after Minnesota? There's another tough one too.
Vegas and Colorado again.
Vegas and Colorado. Like, what does it look like? What does it look like after all those games? They're going to need more Joseph Wall kind of magic.
There's a chance it's a bloodbath.
The barometer for me is if they're back or not. Is if they get through this 8-game stretch here where
still around playoffs.
If they're in after, because we'll come in on that Monday after the 25th, the 26th, after they play against Colorado at 1:30 on that Sunday afternoon. If we come back from that day and they're in the playoffs, I will 100% say they're back.
That's so half-ass of you.
Why?
Oh, if they win the cup, I'll say they're good.
If they survive this stretch is their season.
Yeah, they'll be 60-some games in, coward. You can't make a call. You got to make a call before then. 50-some games in. I'm being dramatic.
So
you'll be through most of the season at that point. You need to make a call.
Vegas, Jets, Wild, Red Wings, Vegas, Colorado.
That's the schedule.
Oh my God!
If they get through that and they're in the playoffs, they're back.
That is.
And if they're not,
it's brutal. It's brutal.
And by the way, the next game, this 27th, the Red Hot Sabres on the Tuesday night.
Yeah, it is funny because we cut
Detroit's
that off
in the mix too.
Yeah, I said Detroit. Yeah,
you said Detroit?
They're the Wednesday night.
Okay,
yeah, we cut it off as like the challenging games, but after that, I think it's like Buffalo, the Islanders.
Seattle, Vancouver. It eases up a touch.
I'm nervous about their game Saturday in Winnipeg.
Yeah, Winnipeg all of a sudden hot now. They've won 3 in a row. Look like the Jets
they
again.
got a little life here.
And I got to be honest, the Jets feel like a team that aren't as bad as their record, that has like a push in them here leading up to the deadline. So,
I just quickly here. I guess a couple. Okay, here we go. Excluding the exhausted effort from last night's scheduled loss, top to bottom, is this the most balanced forward group the Leafs have had in this era? Maybe outside of 18-19, where they had 7 players with 20 goals and 9 with at least 16. That's from Leafs Ride Along.
I'll just say it's tough to know before trade deadline because after
how could you say that? How could you say that?
Let me finish the answer. before trade deadline, you haven't had the chance. When they went into playoffs the year they beat Tampa Bay, they had their fourth line was Sam Lafferty, Nola Chari. I forget who else they had, but Ryan O'Reilly was there that year. Kerfoot was a depth guy for them. Like, they had really good depth. If you added 2 guys to this team, like you might at the deadline, it might look like that.
Gustafson, the defenseman,
That's right, too.
scored a goal in one of those Panther playoff games.
Did they have Edmondson one year, too?
They did. They had Edmondson the year they lost in 7 in overtime to the Boston Bruins.
Every year at the deadline, they've added a D-man. It's been Labushkin, Tanev, McCabe, Edmondson, Gustafson, D.
And now it's going to be D. Ugly Hamilton.
Yeah.
If Bourne has
I have question marks for sure. And listen, it's been a great run so far to bring back the interest. But 2.5, 3 weeks ago, people wanted Max Domi out. Michelli couldn't play. Easton Cowan should be in the minors. McMahon's lacks consistency. And now it's McMahon's a $4 million player, and
McMahon should sign
Max
a deal
is a
today.
legitimate number 1 winger for Austin Matthews, and Michelli's great on the power play. It's like it's not they were that bad, and it's not that they're that great. We got to find out where they are.
You started Bobby McMahon $4 million. You're acting like that's just a conversation that came out of
People
thin
out
air.
there
Those
talking about
people.
this.
That was you, man.
Buddy,
You started
did you see
that.
how many articles are out there now on Bobby
I
McMahon,
do.
The Athletic?
I noticed.
Everybody's on he's a $4 million
wonder
player.
where they got that
Because I
idea.
threw that out about, a week and a half ago?
I also have an article on sportsnet.ca right now, 10 thoughts on the Leafs. You can go through that, and one of them is, should they re-sign Bobby McMahon, as well as same question
And
about
you
Lawton.
said?
Yeah, I did say yeah. $4 million, 4 years? Sure.
I think he'll have no problem getting it on the open market.
I just don't
He
think
is the 3rd fastest player in the league.
I don't think he's going to suddenly get terribly slow. He can shoot it. He's a depth guy. 4 mil's tolerable. Cap's going up.
Speaking of fast, Mike Modano International.
Mike Modano, Hall of Famer, who's about to get a bus token past him.
What?
Pat Kane.
Oh,
He's driving the bus, and Pat Kane's going to flip him a bus token and pass right on by him. Mike Modano and Jody Shelley as well. We'll figure out what's going on in Columbus as they got a new head coach. Plenty more on the Real Kyper and Bourne show. Go get a coffee, go to the bathroom, but come back. All right, Derek Brandeo just said it. The National Hour starts now. The Real Kyper and Bourne Show. We are live on Sportsnet. Sportsnet 650 in Vancouver, 960 in Calgary, and streaming always on Sportsnet Plus. If you miss our show, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube, where everyone gives us a thumbs up. Nick Kypreos, Justin Bourne, Sammy McKee. This hour of Real Kyper and Bourne brought to you by Bet365. In a few minutes, we'll welcome the highest scoring American-born player in NHL history, Mike Modano. For how much longer, we're not sure.
Hanging on as Patrick Kane climbs his way up the leaderboard. Should be there before too long, but still, just an incredible career. Modano, one of my favorites watching as a kid. 1,500 NHL games, another 200 in playoffs almost, Olympic Games, World Cups, you name it.
And definitely one of the Fedorov category of cool.
Oh, just
unbelievable hockey style, the jersey flown in the wind. Just
speaking of which, great job changing the jersey over.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, I got 17 people remind me every day. So
ton of credit right now.
Thanks, man.
As I look behind JB and I see that sweater, how is Mike Modano not your first thought when you see that sweater?
He is. You know who else comes to mind for me for some reason? Neil Broughton.
Oh, they're going to say Dino Ciccarelli. But
Stu Gavin?
Yeah.
Hey, our boy. Gavin Wealth.
Yeah.
There's a few.
Yeah.
Right?
No, it's true. But
Brian Lawton, who is a guest every once in a while on our show.
Brian Bellows. We just name
North
Stars if you want.
Don Beaupre.
John Casey.
I might run out of names.
I think I'm out of names.
I was too young.
Steve Payne.
Nope. I got a Craig Ludwig in my ear, but I remember him with Dallas more than anything.
I remember him having the biggest shin pads in NHL history.
Slightly triangular.
Do you think guys like secretly hate when their records are broken?
They should openly hate it. I think it would be a lot more respectable if guys like, this sucks. It was the coolest being the number one American-born player. That's a bummer. Way to go, Pat. Like, he deserves it, but it's a bummer. That's like, Wayne the whole way along being like, I hope
just a gentleman, though.
Come on, Wayne.
Just a gentleman.
Yes.
Completely, and he'll be the first one to say it. It's like if Gordie Howe was this amazing role model, and how can I not be like Gordie Howe? That's who taught me. That's how the torch is passed on. But secretly, without sharing any information, it's like,
Totally. I think that would be very reasonable.
Well, we'll ask Mike in a few minutes when he joins us how he feels about Pat Kane. Records are made to be broken, as they said.
And he is still a special advisor with the Minnesota Wild, I believe.
Yep.
And so pretty good hockey team that just acquired Quinn Hughes. We get into that a little bit, too.
James Reimer's debut tonight for the...
Oh, you breaking it down for us?
Is he?
Well, I saw him practicing, so I think he's present. He may not start.
I think they're Maryland back-to-back. Last I had heard, that would have been news to me that I would have needed to know. So if anyone sees that, please let me know.
And no real word on Allmark. He's still officially not with the team.
Well,
he's been on the ice, I think, but on his own, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe I'm late to the party on this, but I don't think he's officially back with the team.
He's non-rostered, is he not? Yeah. So I don't think he's
so they got to do the paperwork on that first.
Yeah. As I understand it. Mm-hmm. All right, we got our guy.
All right, let's bring him on. We're not sure for how much longer he's going to be the highest scoring American-born player, but Mike Modano, how are you, my friend?
I'm down about maybe 4 or 5 days tops, I think.
Hey, let me ask you something. When you hit this title, can you remind me who you passed?
Phil Housley was the guy that I passed, and then the goals was Joey Mullen. I think he was around early 500s. But yeah, Phil was the number I was chasing there a few years ago. You'd have to fact check me on the number that I needed to pass him, but I was in San Jose early November, and it was a couple goals and finally got that thing over with.
So what does it feel like when you've sat on the top of the mountain for something like this? And we watched Wayne Gretzky through Ovechkin. Of course, we know what the standard lines are and how you got to do this gracefully. But can you tell us anything more deeper on how really ticked off you are?
I guess when you're away from the game for so long and retired like I've been, I think there's more, obviously, the attention the game has got and the ability to watch games every night and all the games with the technology we have. I think, it was probably not as talked about at the level that it might be with Patty at this level, at this point in the with how the game is popularized and everything. So it was, but it was on my mind. I know my teammates, was talked about and brought up a lot. And, they all knew that that number was getting closer and closer. But, it was, the start of the season didn't go well. I was kind of struggling. And then, you get into single digits and let's just get to this thing and get it over with. But, it was a lot of fun. I guess chasing it down. It was, obviously I'd tell people I'd played a lot longer and did a lot more things and was able to accomplish a lot more things than I ever sought out to be in the game and doing the game. And I just was lucky to play a long time with great teammates, great teams, and stayed healthy for the majority of it. And then, a couple work stoppages for a year and a half. And then you kind of wonder, you do the numbers in your head. If you had another 140 games to deal with, it could have been a good number.
Mike, I just want to ask you about Sergei Fedorov's retirement recently, just because we were talking about all-time cool hockey players in the NHL, and you were in that category for a lot of younger players watching you guys of that generation. Did you have any thoughts seeing Sergei's number go up to the rafters and being mentioned with a guy like that in all-time NHL coolness?
He was. I mean, his ability to skate, at a high pace and do everything really fast. I mean, he was kind of the one of that mold, with Bure, McGillney. I mean, that was the line we were chasing around in the World Juniors in Anchorage. And we saw those three guys together, these guys are going to run away with this tournament. And they actually did. And then having to play with them in the Norris division against them all the time. And that whole team there was tough chasing him down all the time. But he was just, phenomenal athlete, just a great skater. And you can always tell the great ones when they're just as fast with the puck as they are without it. Those are the guys that you had to deal with. And, he was one of them. But, just his overall strength, smarts, he could do everything you asked him to do. And Scotty Bowman and the team and the Detroit organization, they asked him to do, he did it. And, he's highly rewarded for it.
You're listening to Mike Modano, all-time leader in points for American-born players. Pat Kane knocking on the door of that. Also, hockey operations advisor for the Minnesota Wild. And just how that's going, Mike, in terms of how much you're involved. And truly, does it bother you that Billy Guerin gets all the credit for Quinn Hughes when you were probably the mastermind behind it?
Well, Billy knows that we had a lot to do with hiring Billy about 6-7 years ago, and that was I think that was a great hire. So I have that over his head. If ever there's a wrinkle in my job description, I kind of go back to that final interview that put him over the top and got him the job. But rightfully so. He's been a phenomenal guy. I just love spending time with him and talking hockey. He knows a lot that's going on. And I mean, the Hughes deal is, the biggest deal the organization has ever seen. And having a guy at that level, that talent, and, to see him in and out day in and day out, watching what he can do, it's made the guys around him a lot better too. They're just excited to come to the rink and watch how he plays because he's just at a other, his mind and his feel for the game is just so much higher than a lot of people that play the game. And they say to themselves, "Man, this is how you're supposed to play hockey." Man, I would have never imagined. So it's kind of a bit of an eye opener to the guys that are around him, and it's rightfully so. They've been on a good tear since he kind of came to town.
Mike, you were a part of an American Olympic hockey team, 3 different Olympics, where you guys kind of the Americans went from being maybe not considered at the top, the miracle in 1980, but eventually by the time you were there, you guys were one of the top programs and sort of, I guess you're the bridge to now where it feels like the Americans are, if not the favorites, up there with co-favorites with a number of teams. Do you have any distinct memories of the Olympics? When you think back to your Olympic times, does anything in particular stand out for you?
Well, there was a lot of excitement leading up to Nagano because we just had finished the World Cup a couple years prior. So that was kind of a great feeling that we had during that tournament, which was, I think, to this day, some of the raunchiest and toughest hockey I think I've ever seen in a best of 3 series playing against those guys. It was pretty much prison rules out there. So it was another level there. So we felt that tournament really kind of turned people's heads and kind of got them thinking about American hockey to another level. And then you had you had all the expansion that was going on, and obviously in Dallas and California and Florida and everything. So a lot more kids were playing the game. The USHL came into play, the North American Development Program, and Ann Arbor came into fruition. So there was a lot of avenues for kids to play and play at a high level. So I think that attributed to a lot of the popularity and the growth of the game. And, we thought we'd favor better in Nagano, but, then we came back in Salt Lake and had a great gold medal game against Canada and, not so much in Torino, but then another great appearance in Vancouver. So, at that point, there was a little bit of a changing of the guards, and you had all the Austin Matthews and the Jack Eichels and the Hugheses and everything else that's coming into play, the goaltending with Hellebuck and Ottinger, and just a swamp load of great A talent that just came out of the woodworks in the early 2020s and that. So, I mean, they positioned themselves really well. I think they got a phenomenal lineup, and, so we're hoping, they can put it together in Milan, and it's a short tournament, and you try to hope it comes together real quick for them.
Yeah, and part of what coming together real quick means the rink being finished. I'm not sure what kind of day-to-day news you guys get down there in terms of the rink being finished, but Sammy's watching it every day on a feed 24/7. And you were part of 3 Olympics, of course, the last one in 2006, also in Italy, and any challenges you recall about the prep work and how much you needed to know? Because, we do feel like the games are going to be played, Mike, for sure. But the rest of it around it, in terms of what's it going to be like for family, did you ever experience anything that the players might be feeling a little bit on not knowing exactly how this thing is going to go down? And again, it's just not the players, it's their families as well, correct?
Yeah, there's a lot that goes into that, just the preparation, especially when you got to go overseas. And we had that same issue in Nagano and then Torino. It's just, it's a lot of moving parts and trying to get people over there and get hotel rooms and, trying to catch up to players and family and friends after the game. It was funny in Torino where they had the sections blocked off. So whatever section you sat in, you couldn't go to any other area of the rink. So it was partitioned off in the concourse. So if you had a buddy on the opposite end of you couldn't go see him until the game was over. So the just odd little rules that, they thought that would work in soccer over there that they do, and they thought they'd do it in hockey. So it was really kind of a weird just setups that we saw in different places. But, obviously having it in Salt Lake was just great. The travel was easy. Obviously, we just got right in there a couple of days after the work stoppage, and then, you get right into it. But when you got to get overseas and you got to give everybody over with there, if kids are going and families and parents and, so there's a lot of prep leading into it, and you just hope that it all gets handled so you can go over there and focus on the game. But, it's easier said than done. Once you get over there, it's a little fly by the seat of your pants and try to figure it out as you go. And then, and you don't have all that time in the world, because before you know it's going to be week into the tournament, you're going to figure out where you're going to be standing real quick. So it's the prep leading up to it is really important.
Well, and it's crazy, like watching the NHL right now, it has led to a condensed schedule, a ton of hockey being played right now. And I don't know how you feel about the effect the Olympics are having on the NHL schedule. Personally, fans' perspective feels like it's worth it from where we sit, but I'm sure for the players, it's a bit more of a grind. What are your thoughts on the effect on the NHL schedule?
On the other side of it as a fan is great because they're playing a lot. You get to watch, every other night you're watching a ton of games, and every night, you got 8-10 games going on. And, as a player, it's I guess, if you're on a good run and you're winning games, you're like, oh, let's just keep going, keep playing, forget the practices, let's just roll right into the game. And then, you have these hiccups like maybe, some of these teams are having. You go 1-2 and out of 1 or 2 wins out of 8, you're like, man, we needed a couple of days of practice just to kind of regroup and hit the reset button, but you don't have time. So you can almost dig a deeper hole than you could the opposite way as you could on the positive side. So it's a challenging thing, but yeah, physically, I mean, man, I look at the schedule for Minnesota after the break. It's like, I don't know, it looks like they have maybe 16 or 17 games in March. It's like, 3 or 4 back-to-backs. And, so it's going to be a battle of attrition there when they come back from this tournament and kind of a mad sprint into the end of that April last game comes.
Mike, you might be the perfect guy to ask this question because you mentioned the World Cup that you guys played in, which was phenomenal hockey. And like you said, no prison rules and we saw a little bit of that in probably the first 10 seconds of the Four Nations tournament. My question to you is, knowing what we're capable of doing internationally on our terms with the World Cups or the Four Nations or whatever's coming up next against the Olympics, were the Olympics everything that you thought they would be? Do we still need the Olympics? Can you pull it off internationally on an NHL kind of controlled environment? What are your overall thoughts between a World Cup moving forward and an Olympics? And do you need both? Can you go to one?
That's a good question, Nick. I've always been a fan of the World Cup scenario because it always is probably played over here. It's either played in the U.S. or Canada, so people can get to it. It's live TV, so the time for TVs are great. Players don't have to travel all over the world to get to it, and usually, we had it at the beginning of training camp, at the start of training camp, so everybody was really well rested and fresh coming off the summer break, and you had about 10, 12 days to get prepped for it. For ourselves, we're in Providence leading up to the tournament, so. And you do. It's like Olympic hockey. You have the best of the players in the world that are playing. They're all on the same continent playing and in the same location. So I was a big fan of that. But there's that Olympic that Olympic title, winning a gold medal or silver medal is always kind of something that's was never on the radar for a lot of guys in the NHL for us until we 98. So. It is nice when you do get to play the best on best and get people to get to see some of these players from Germany, Finland, Sweden that they may not know of that are actually playing in the NHL that become household names because of the Olympics and the popularity of it. But yeah, I kind of go back and forth on it because I was a big fan of the World Cup, and then you get in a best of 3 series for the final, which was great. These 1-game knockouts are just tough. You try to play a perfect game, and something along the way throws a little hiccup in it, and you could lose that game. So that's a tough one.
Last one for me, Mike, before we let you go. Just want to get your thoughts on. You're probably a guy who's got some influence at the league office. We got to go back to the 1 versus 8 playoffs, do we not? The Minnesota Wild right now. You're going to play the Dallas Stars in the first round and finish second or third in the league and get the Stars?
I'm not a big fan of it. I agree. You work all year to get in that position. That's the benefit of finishing in the top 4 is you're going to play someone in the bottom 4, so in the bottom 8. So I'm a big fan of that old setup, and it was like the North Stars in our 91. I think we got in it with 67 or 68 points that season, and we were the 16th seed, I think, out of the top 16, and but you hit that you hit it at the right time in the right moment. But yeah, I agree. You can't have those top teams going at it in the first round. Those are conference final setups to go to the finals for sure. Dallas against Colorado or Minnesota or something. Those are further down the line. You don't get those in the first round because at that point you almost feel like the playoffs get easier as you get closer to the conference finals, which it should be the other way. And then granted, back when it was 1-8, you get to those 6th or 7th, 8th seeds. I mean, God, for Dallas, we always felt like we were playing Edmonton. It was just kind of it was just brutal hockey, just tough hockey, and they just made it hard on us to get through that first round, and that's the way it should be. It's just a physical type grinding 2 months of hockey, and so I agree. We need to go back to that one.
Before I let you go, I got to mention Pat Kane just 4 points away. It could happen this weekend. Mike, will you be watching? Have you talked to Pat at all throughout any of this?
I sent him a little congratulatory for the 500, and I'm kind of saving the next one for the big one. I know it's coming obviously soon, and I'll definitely be in Detroit to help celebrate after the fact and keeping tabs on him. But I'm kind of watching the score sheet now here going into it, but I'm happy for him. It's been a phenomenal career, just amazing numbers. He's done everything a player would love to have on his resume. So he's a great guy too. But I'm happy for him. It's bittersweet. You have these numbers, but someone somewhere, someone down the line is going to come out and get this number. But I knew when I first played against him and saw him come in the league that he might be that guy pushing on this number, and here we are. So I'm excited for him. It's going to be great for him.
Well, we consider both of you guys at the top of the mountain. Mike, really appreciate this. Fantastic insight. Thanks for joining us, pal.
You got it, guys. Anytime. Good talking with you.
Thanks so much.
That is the great Mike Modano. That was great.
The Olympic stuff's crazy to me.
Shout out Jaja.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, Jaja landed the interview.
That's all him. Booked it.
Awesome stuff. I really got the sense that he'd ditch the Olympics.
No, yeah. Okay.
I'm just
we
telling
call
you.
that lead in the witness, buddy. You're like, well, how much does the
I
Olympics
gave him
suck?
every opportunity to say, I love the Olympic experience. I wouldn't trade it for the world. Didn't say that.
Kippy Bettman says.
Didn't say that. Didn't say that.
Gary Kypreos.
Yeah, no, I mean,
There's some things Gary and I could maybe see eye to eye on.
I totally disagree with you. I think the Olympics are the Olympics. They've been around for a bajillion years. Mm-hmm. It is the world's greatest at all the sports. Yeah. And to have an Olympic gold medal is not like, the league said we were the coolest, or whatever NHL puts together.
Wait till Troy Crosby shows up at the rink and he's sitting on a bucket.
Okay. I think that
Troy Crosby? Sorry.
I
thought you called him Troy Crosby. Anyway.
The dad.
His dad.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, what are we talking about?
Yeah,
his dad.
Troy's brother. Sid's buddy.
I didn't know Sid's dad's name.
Come on. Get up with the dads.
I think, though, if you're going to host an Olympics, and a Winter Olympics specifically, I think part of the prerequisite from here on out,
seats.
You got a damn rink.
Yeah.
You got a rink. Like, I don't think we should be starting building a rink for the Olympics. Like, I think if you're going to be going to a winter destination where there's going to be hockey played, call me crazy, but maybe have an established rink.
But they don't go to any place where it's already established.
Do they have? Well, part
They've
of
done it multiple times.
landing the Olympic bid though is getting new buildings built. That's part of why cities do it sometimes.
And then they turn into like.
In Italy, are they doing the daytime siesta? Are the workers taking afternoon breaks?
Well, I saw CJ.
Can we have some like North American union laws for the construction of the facilities?
I saw CJ's tweet about it. He's like, they're back at it after the weekend. I'm like, the weekend?
Weekend? No, that's not true.
Yes, it was.
They couldn't work through the weekend with 2 weeks to go?
Why am I working hard? Why am I working weekends and the guy's building the rink?
No way that's true.
It did. I got to find the tweet. But he was basically like, yeah, they're back at it in full force after the weekend off.
Oh, my God.
The boys are just crunching Peronis.
It's Saturday.
Who's the guy that said, listen, all I care about is the players playing. Everything else, suites aren't my gig.
Yeah.
I don't care if there's showers.
Yeah.
We'll play hockey.
Yeah.
Oh my
Wow.
God.
God, that can't be true that they took the weekend off. It can't be.
I'll find the tweet for you after the break. But they went to Salt Lake. There was a rink. They went to Vancouver. There was a rink. They played. I think was there.
I don't know. Was Salt Lake? Did they not build?
Did they
the
build
rink?
for Salt Lake?
I don't know.
Because they were playing in the rink last night, right? I think it was the same one where because they were talking about it on the broadcast last night.
Delta
That's
Center?
where Soleil and Pelletier got jobbed out of the ice dancing thing, and it was.
I don't know if
it's
it
been
was
there.
built just for the Olympics.
I don't think it was. I think it was there. I think
Okay.
it was.
All right.
So
No, the E Center was built there. That might have been for the Olympics. Anyway, they got a different rink too.
I don't think it's too much to ask to have a rink if you're going to play a Winter Olympics there.
But just give it enough. Just build it. How about just build the rink
But
if you're going to build it?
you're right, though. There's prestige to the gold medal. And there's a reason that the players, Kyper, have fought for this for multiple years. And I understand that the owners in the league, I understand their perspective, but the players want it. How many players have said, I don't care what the rink looks like. I'll play, blah, blah, blah. Right?
Olympic gold, baby.
Kyper's not even listening.
Yeah.
All right.
It's over.
What do you mean it's over? What's over?
Olympics. It's over.
League office Kippy. Back at it again. All right. It's game time. Presented by Bet365. Visit the app for latest odds and see why it's ever ordinary at Bet365. What's to 19 plus? Ontario only. Please play responsibly. 4 games on the ice tonight. Like I said, Bourne is going to be on the broadcast tonight. Who's on the panel with you tonight there, bud?
We got Luke Gazdick, Sam Cosentino, and David Amber.
DA.
DA in the house.
Love it. The Ottawa Senators are favored tonight. It's pretty even, actually. It's minus 115 for the Ottawa Senators. It is minus 105 for the New York Rangers. Pretty close on the money line there. A lot of rumors, including in Kyper's latest article on Sportsnet.ca about some trade rumors and some buzz, that Artemi Panarin may be on the move at this trade deadline, a pending UFA, a guy that a lot of contenders may be looking at. He is plus 155 to score a goal tonight for the New York Rangers. Give me an Artemi Panarin anytime goal. Brady Tkachuk hasn't been great, but he likes probably playing at MSG, big American guy playing in the big American arena. Give me a goal from Brady Tkachuk as well tonight. And a good one later on tonight, Vegas Golden Knights in LA taking on the Kings ahead of the game of the century, buried in the second half of back-to-back.
Ahead of their scheduled loss coming up versus the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Perfect. Need that. Would love them to have a scheduled loss. Vegas is minus 120 in that game. LA plus 100 on the money line. And the Buffalo Sabres, who still find themselves in a playoff spot, it would be nice if they would lose for once, or if somebody in the East would lose for once. They are minus 135 on the money line. The Philadelphia Flyers are plus 115. Don't mind a little value there with the Philadelphia Flyers on the road. That was game time.
Go ahead.
That was game time presented by Bet365. Visit the app's latest odds and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 18 plus. Ontario only. Please play it responsibly.
There's got to be like a record amount of 3-point games this year. I need to look into this.
Every game.
Everything goes to overtime. It's crazy.
Yeah. So
I think Ottawa Rangers, I'm not just saying this because I'm on the broadcast. I actually think it's going to be a good game tonight because I think there's two teams who are better than their records with higher expectation than their records, who are at real crossroads in their season here. So I'm expecting good push. Ottawa got a win last night. Rangers, man.
It's just now, I guess, you hope for still a St. Louis Blues 2019?
Yeah, 2019.
Right, where they were buried mid-January, right around now.
Yeah.
This is when that historic move happened.
Yeah.
That's what the Rangers are down
in
to.
the back, just find a hole. And,
right?
Yeah.
No, that's
There's my hole. Got to go.
not happening.
Got to tell you, don't see it.
Don't see
Don't
it.
see it with the Rangers.
The Rangers
Don't see it.
I'm just keep refreshing.
coming up lame.
I just keep refreshing Twitter, hoping to see something about.
Okay,
All right,
we'll take a quick break.
Yeah.
We got tons to get into,
Jody
including
Shelley on the other side of the break.
Well, we got Jody Shelley, of course, because that talk revolves around Rick Bowness winning his first game as a Columbus Blue Jacket last night. We got Tom Fitzgerald's sound out of New Jersey. He met the press. We'll get our thoughts on that. Plenty more. Don't go away. Real Kyper and Bourne. As a reminder, this real Kyper and Bourne show brought to you by Bet365. Nick Kypreos, Justin Bourne, Sammy McKee. All right, let's take a quick peek into the Columbus Blue Jackets. Let's welcome in Jody Shelley, broadcaster with Fox Sports Ohio, and someone that knows a little about the Columbus Blue Jackets, who made a major decision to fire their head coach and bring in Rick Bowness. Shell, how are you, my friend?
I'm great. How are you guys doing?
Yeah,
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, we're doing okay. Listen, usually we bring you at the top of the hour. We got a lot of league stuff to go over, but let's just focus on Columbus right here and right now, and why now. Obviously, the expectations haven't been met at this point, but the decision to fire Dean Evason, how do you think it all went down in your opinion?
Well, you said it. Expectations this season after a season that was unthinkable to start last year, and they played and exceeded expectations. There was individuals that had career highs. Everything kind of went right last year, almost so right that I think they should have made the playoffs, and they kind of fumbled there a little bit. And so this year you come into this market, they're expected to be a playoff team, and they're sputtering right now, and they're giving up third period leads. And, that's a sign of maybe confidence, but also, maybe there's a little bit of technical stuff in there that the players are just unsure of. So Don Waddell decided that this had to happen. And you look at Dean Evason, he came in and he hired as a pretty youthful, inexperienced coaching staff, and he gave them a lot of responsibility, and that's the way he wanted to do it. And it just wasn't working. So you bring in a guy with a tremendous amount of experience in Rick Bowness, keep most of that coaching staff, which is, you got Scott Ford, who's coming out of the minors to coach for his first year in the National Hockey League as an assistant. Jared Boll's been around the organization for a while, but still as an assistant. And then you have Mike Havlett, who has great experience, but Steve McCarthy was a guy who was working his way up. And so they made some changes, and, they've made trades to try to make things happen and get things better. And he just figured that it wasn't going in the direction. And he's been around the last little bit, Don Waddell watching. So he saw something he didn't like, and he made this change.
So before we turn the page on to what comes next, I just want to look back for a second, get your thoughts on Dean Evason's coaching tenure in Columbus. As you mentioned, short, good year last year. Like it just seems like things went pretty well most of the time until this year.
Yeah. I think a lot of things went right. He's a emotionally charged motivator.
Yeah.
And, no one knew the landscape coming into last year with the tragedy in Columbus with those the Goodrow brothers. And he was phenomenal with uniting a group and playing for a higher purpose and keeping the guys together. And he's really, really good at that. And when it came to maybe some technical things with what you have Kent Johnson playing on the fourth line in and out of the lineup. This is a first round pick that last year was a penalty killer and had career highs. It seemed like those guys with the skill, there was times where they weren't slotted in areas where they thought they were going to be. And guys like Olivier, Miles Wood, players that play that tough brand and that easy to pick out in your face style, they excelled. And, for those skilled guys, those draft picks, which you need to thrive in certain areas and kind of help them along, it just wasn't working. So, when you have that happening, when you have those prospects of picks, it's not just work harder. There's got to be a little more game plan to it. And I think that's where it fell apart.
You're watching and listening to former National Hockey Leaguer Jody Shelley covering the Columbus Blue Jackets. So is Rick coming in as a favor to somebody? Is there a chance that this thing goes well and he sticks around for the next, 10 years?
Did you
Any
hear
coach stick around 10?
So Don Waddell said he woke up at 3 a.m. and he was thinking about names, and Rick Bowness came to his mind, so he wrote it down. And then he called him when he got up, and Rick was on his boat with his wife, and Rick said, "Can you give me 10 minutes?" And I called him back and said, him and his wife Judy want to be back in hockey, and they had health issues. That's why he stepped away, and he is over the moon that he's back coaching. So I don't know. I don't have to tell you. I hear, it's the rest of the season, then they'll talk after that and go from there. But it's a win-win for everyone. Rick Bowness gets to come back in the National Hockey League and help develop and get this team on the right direction and hopefully get them in the playoffs. And he's also going to assess everything for Don Waddell. If he does step away, he could say, I see this, and that, these need to be improved. Or they say, we love what you've done. Please stay for another 10 years. We don't know, but it needs to be taken care of here. I mean, Cole Sillinger's had 5 coaches in 5 years in the National Hockey League, and that's a little much.
Yeah.
Yeah, not ideal. So it's just such an odd thing to me. Like it's almost like having a substitute teacher. It's like, I'm not going to be here long, but fall in line. I think that makes for a tough level of commitment, doesn't it? Like is the hope here to have this team rally and get back in playoffs and find it here?
Bourne, I think there is a craving for that detailed game plan in this room. I look at Zach Werenski on nights after losses where he has done everything that he possibly can, and then the support in times when the play should be there was lost, or there's players that are lost. You lose a game after a 58-minute effort because Pittsburgh game was really the start of it. Some decisions made, some clientele on the ice, maybe it was that, and these guys are craving it. So I think there's a refreshed air in just having certain direction, because when you have 5 guys from Russia, 1 guy doesn't speak English well, and you have guys that are new in the league, new players in the last 2 weeks. You have to have that certainty of the parameters within a shift for everybody. And I thought they had them, but it seems like this year, I don't know if they forgot them or they just they want more. And I think that's what this is going to provide.
Jody, what is sitting Rick? What would you say Rick's top priority is when he comes in there for 24, 48 hours in a week, 10 days?
I watched him last night closely, Kyper, on the bench, just assessing. Who's in charge of the PK? Okay, we're going to do it your way, and I'm going to watch. Mm-hmm. Who's in charge of the power play? Okay, we're going to do it your way, and I'm going to watch. How do we go about our business daily? Who's slotted where and why? And then make his adjustments as he sees it. I think he's been watching a lot of hockey. He's been working on TV. I think that's his priority right now, is to assess how it's been done, to see why it is or isn't working, and improve in those areas. And then slot guys where, maybe he's worked with a lot of young players. He came into Winnipeg years ago in a very similar situation. And, he had young talent. He had bigger guys that didn't kind of figure out their roles. I think he's going to help this be more of a team game. And I think that's important for guys like Werenski, who plays a lot of defensive minutes. I think it's important for him to get some offensive minutes to help improve everybody on this team. Oh, and the other thing is, of course, defensively, they're not very good. Yeah. Defensively, they have to tighten things up. And that's a team concept, and that's understanding your role and your commitment in the defensive zone. I think that's also a big priority.
One more, Jody, before I let you go, and that's just Columbus Blue Jacket fans. I've been listening to the Buffalo Sabres over the last few years, and all I've heard was, man, these fans deserve better than this. When you look at the Columbus Blue Jackets and their lack of success, basically from inception here, talk to me about that market here and what they've been through and how much they deserve moving forward here, because it is a good market.
It is.
It's a great market. It's a market of college football where the coach is the largest and the conduit to the team and the biggest personality and the most heralded person in the community, because the coach is the director of everything going on. And it's been tumultuous in Columbus in that situation. They deserve stability, and the ownership is committed to win, and they trust the people that they hire to do the job that they're hired to do. And there's been a little too many, I guess, hiccups and major changes that have had to happen here. They do see stability in the players that they have around. I mean, they've waited for Cole Sillinger and Kent Johnson and Adam Fantilli, and guys like Zach Werenski have grown up here. Boone Jenner's a player that identifies with this market tremendously. So they deserve much better, but I think that they like having the consistency of the players that they admire, but they just want to have a coach that they can all get behind and stay with for years to come. So, this is a team that last year should have made the playoffs. This is a team that should be playing better. And I just feel like this fan base is a great sports market, and they're getting frustrated, but they're still behind this team.
Awesome stuff, Joe. Really appreciate your time, my friend.
Anytime, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Jody
Thanks, Jody.
Shelley.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, Seaborn.
Yeah,
All-time beauty.
they just can't.
He's awesome.
They just cannot get out of whatever.
He's
We're good.
I think
Columbus just can't get out of their own way sometimes and get to that next stage.
You know, this is a silly thing to say when you don't follow a market as closely as you do your home market. But they're another team where I look at them and go, okay, they haven't made playoffs most of their time. Where is everyone? Like when you finish poorly, you draft high, and you should have a wave of talent eventually. And I look at their lineup, and it's like, yes, they have good young players.
Fantilli's that guy.
Fantilli's that guy.
Kent Johnson's that guy.
Nah, but I don't know.
He's supposed to be.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
he's deep too. He's a good player.
He is. I guess the type of guys who moved, like they've been almost not bad enough. Do you know what I mean? Like they haven't got top 3 picks, top 4 picks. They're always okay.
I think Fantilli was the second overall pick.
Okay, they got the exception here in Fantilli.
Yeah.
Fantilli is good. But like every team has that. So I don't know. Like what's the ceiling for Cole Sillinger? What's the ceiling for I'm looking at their roster. I can't even there's not even another name outside Kent Johnston of like good young guy. Marchenko's arrived. He's a player.
Yep.
Werenski's
He's
superstar,
really good.
Top 3D in the league for me.
And Jet looks like he's got a bright future.
Okay.
It just looks like a
I just
Kyper drop mid.
Yeah, if you do every team in the NHL and have the conversation we just had, you can come up with names.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, they got this guy on the way. He's a good young whatever. Every team has 3 or 4 guys.
Mm-hmm.
But who did we talk to yesterday? God, is he talking? Oh, Utah. Bill Armstrong was talking about, and Kip goes, are you guys too small? Is essentially what he asked him. And Bill Armstrong, who they've been crap for a while and drafted high for a while, was like, yeah, Kip, we got a kid who's 6'7" in the minors, kid who's 6'8" in the minors, got another kid who's 6'6" in the minors. We got 5 first-round picks.
And they're coming.
In the next 2
We got
years.
a basketball team in the minors.
Yeah, we got 3 first-round picks. Like, it's coming for Utah. Where is it with Columbus?
They got that Tej Ginla too. Who
They got a
just looks
Ginla
like
in the system.
stud.
They got a bunch of guys from the World Junior team. It doesn't feel like it's there for Columbus in the same way.
New Jersey Devils.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Fitzgerald met the media locally there.
38 minutes.
38 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I don't know how many times I heard it's on me. But clearly, whether it's Kevin Cheveldayoff, who did this basically 3 weeks ago, a month ago.
I think less than that, but around that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. A couple weeks ago.
I would say 2 weeks.
There's more pressure on these guys than ever before to feel like they need to do this.
To communicate where we're at and why. And I support that.
And this is, again, looking at your social media or getting the feedback. I know you get requests of, can I talk to you? And then, Tom mentioned today, listen, I know everybody's asking, so let me just do it this way. But there's a real sense out there they need to be heard from, like part of the old accountability thing.
Well, I do think that there was a growing amount of noise around their team just saying, why hasn't he talked to the media when other teams, GMs or whatever are doing that? And I get the idea from his perspective where it's like, I have nothing to say. Like I'm going to go do 38 minutes and
really dancing.
Yeah.
Tap
like
dance.
Tap
it has to
dancing.
be a bad feeling when you sit down and be like, I'm here to talk. I don't actually have anything to say. We're not doing as well as we want to. We are open to making trades. We've been trying. We're going to keep trying.
We do have.
Did I sum up 38 minutes? I didn't listen to the presser.
How about we play one of the clips? Jaja grabbed it. Let's play.
Play the first one.
Why should you still be the GM? Fitzgerald clip 1, please, Derek.
Oh, jeez, feisty.
If we have it.
Why do you believe that you should be the one to find those solutions? Why do you believe you should still be the GM when you haven't gone further than the
Great question. No, it's a great question, and a question I know a lot of people probably want to know. But I'm very confident in where I've taken this team to, and how we've built through the core and added the pieces that we wanted to add to become a contender every year. The passion I have for New Jersey, the Devils, ownership, and more importantly, the fans. I love this. I love New Jersey. It's been my home for the past 10 years, 11 years. I'm trying to, because I do think I can be the one to help move this organization forward, and the goal has never changed, to be a Stanley Cup champion. And that's not going to change, and I believe I can do that.
That's a tough question. I mean, he said, I don't know, did he say it's a great question? and then he repeated it twice, and it's like, let me say it one more time so I can really collect my thoughts here.
I gotta tell you, I like Tom Fitzgerald, I should say. I think he does a good job. The team is a lot better than they'd been years ago, but I don't think a very good answer is because I really wanna, because I really like it here, because I'm pro Devils and I live here. Like, I think he needs to make a better case for his team.
So, can I ask you? Like, so I'm the reporter. I ask you, why should you still be the GM of the Devils? How would you answer that question?
I think the best thing you do is make a case of things you've done well.
So,
I traded for this guy,
here.
drafted well with this guy. We're in a position where we're one or two pieces away, we think.
Yeah. My answer would have been, we're all constantly being evaluated. We all have people we have to answer to. That's for someone else to decide. I'm here. This is my job. I feel like I'm confident that we can get this thing going, and that's it. Get out of it. That's it.
Your answer is more evasive and probably better, in the sense that it's just like, I don't have to answer that. This isn't my
That's
call.
not up for me to decide.
Right.
This is the job that I have.
That's what Keefe said when he got asked a few weeks ago about it.
This is what I'm supposed to do until someone tells me differently. We're all being analyzed. We're all scrutinized. We all have people we have to answer to.
But it is. Someone says, why should you be the GM?
Yeah.
And it's like, someone else makes that decision. Feels like, so you don't think you should either?
But I like it here maybe isn't the best course of action.
I live here.
You know what it says to me, though?
House.
You know what? To your point, if he thought for 1 second that question was coming, he would not have answered it that way. Yeah. He wouldn't have. Yeah. Which
you think he's going to go into that and not have that?
That's
that's
pretty
coming?
rare to get.
What I'm telling you is I don't believe they spend enough time to prep. And I don't know if it's the PR department. I don't know if it's on Tom himself. But if I own a hockey club or a top level company, man, my PR department better be sharp as tacks.
I don't know.
Tight.
I totally agree with that. I don't know if you guys follow their beat writer, Ryan Novozinski. It had to be him who's asking it. He's a beat writer, and he asks hard questions, and he'll be there.
Do you know how hard that is to do?
I bet that's him.
You know how hard that is to do? People always, one of the big fan things is,
you
gotta go down there and ask the tough questions. In a room full of people that's being broadcast, sitting there and looking the general manager in the eye, who's played over 1,000 games in the NHL, and be like, why should you still do this, buddy?
Yeah.
Takes a lot of guts.
Bud, your track record stinks.
Tristan Jarry, good return last night.
Do we want any more of these clips? We got a pile of clips here.
We got 2 minutes.
We're good. We're good on New Jersey.
We got 1 minute.
Jari did stuff?
Yeah. Do you see the overtime?
I got my questions on Jari leading Edmonton to the promised land.
There's an article recently that was like, is Jari better than Skinner? Or is he even better than Skinner? It doesn't matter. You couldn't have Skinner. Maybe you could have done better than Jari. But, you're better with Jari than Skinner. Skinner first, second things start going wrong. Everyone's like,
maybe Ingram's better than both of them.
Maybe. They did the Blackwood, Wedgwood thing in Colorado. Maybe they can do the same thing here.
2 solid hours of solving nothing on the Real Kyper and Bourne Show.
Well, Modano was really good.
Really good. And our thanks to Mike Modano and Jody Shelley today. JB, you're just getting warmed up, baby. Scotiabank Wednesday Night Hockey, Ottawa, and the New York Rangers, 7:30 Eastern. Anything to add to that?
Looking forward to it.
Have fun. Your microphone's not off. Have fun.
Go Sens.
Go Sens, says JB. Have a great night, everybody.